I do love when we get a chance to be live on location. And an Old Forester event is a beautiful way to get it done. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is America's favorite amateur drinker. I just got so excited, I forgot what you were. America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. We're here at Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana, and we have got ourselves a beautiful, lovely pour of the Old Forester. This is the 1897. Now, this is part of the Old Forester Whiskey Row series, right? So there's a whole series of Old Foresters, and as they discuss, and we're gonna get into it with them later, it's telling a story. Of American history. This 1897, because that's the year that bottled in bond became law.
Is that what it is? I thought that it was better than the 1896, but not as good as the 1898.
Bottled in bond, meaning it comes in at 100 proof. I'll do it, Fingers.
Oh,
You're holding your glass. You have no time for this. It's a very cool spot, world-class barbecue, and you guys know the name Adam Hoffman, Hoffa's Barbecue, because Big Hoffa's Barbecue, because they were very helpful in the writing of our book, Let's Go Barbecue, Let's Go BBQ, available at
Amazon.com, and if you go there right now, supplies are limited. So get your copy today.
They are not limited. Oh. So because we're here in the place, and it's a restaurant, it's a barbecue place, they don't do cigar smoking in the place. So we are going to review 2 bourbons.
Nice.
And we're going to skip cigars. Now, I brought cigars. You brought cigars just in case. If we think we can sneak a light up, we will. But we're not going to do that. So 2 bourbons. We'll start here with the 1897 100 proof. And on the nose, Fingers Malloy. Oh, that's rich.
Yeah. So
that is bigger than I thought.
So I'm getting some nice caramel and leather. I'm not getting a lot of oak though.
You don't get an alcohol sting? Because I almost had a moment.
Really?
Oh, yes, I did.
No, for me it's caramel, it's leather, and really not much else. And by the way, no complaints at all.
No complaints. It is for 100 proof, right? Because all bottled in bond is 100 proof. Same distillate, same distilling season, same distiller, and coming in at 100 proof. Those are the rules for bottled in bond. This is much more, what is the right word I'm looking? This is much stronger on the nose than I anticipated by a whole bloody amount. But there's also an oak and a very warm flower. And I don't mean flower like you bake. I mean flowers, like floral. And I'm saying warm because I don't know how else to say it. It's more like deep rose petal in that kind of thing. It's floral to the point where you can actually think of the texture of the flower itself. That's what I get.
Interesting.
No, what am I supposed to say?
What are you supposed to say?
I get White Castle and regret?
Carnations. I thought you were going to say anything, but you went with roses.
And I'm trying to think of something, right? Not being a flower expert.
Lily?
No, I'm thinking of something deep and rich. Lavender would be its own thing. It would be its own flavor profile. So I didn't want to go there, but it is something that's floral. But enough talk, Fingers Malloy. This is the Old Forester. This is the 1897 bottled in bond, part of that whole Old Forester Whiskey Row series. You ready for this?
Tony, I've been ready for this all day.
Fingers Malloy is about to do what we call the Kentucky Chew. It's moving the juice around the palate, trying to get a feel for the bourbon. I'm a believer in the 2 sips methodology. The first sip to set the taste buds. The second sip to really get an idea of flavors. So Fingers, we're taking this neat. At first, we've got it in the rocks glasses here. No Glencairns, no Kinsey glasses today. Fingers, what say you?
So there's a nice bit of pepper, and also I'm getting a little bit of dark fruit and oak. It's all very wonderful. I'm not getting so much of that caramel and vanilla that you would typically expect from a bourbon. It's much more... that pepper hits you right off bat in a good way. Very little sting on the palate. Nothing really on the tongue. No real burning or warmth in the chest. It's very nice.
All right, I'm going in. And by the way, the video of this is going to look totally weird because we had to makeshift it. Did I mention that we're in this camera, not that camera?
No, I've been looking at that camera right there.
Yeah, that's the wrong camera.
Oh,
here we go, guys. Here we are, Old Forester, 1897, bottled in bonds. L'chaim.
L'chaim. He's going in, ladies and gentlemen, and he's doing what we like to call the Saginaw Swish, the Memphis Munch, the Chattanooga Chomp, the Boutros Ghali.
Ooh.
Golly.
Is it me?
Oh, he's going in again.
2 sips, kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what you got again.
Black pepper, oak, and a little bit of dark fruit. No caramel, no vanilla. And you could talk me into a little bit of a cinnamon, like a cinnamon on the finish. A little bit.
That is so much stronger than I was. Maybe it's me today. By the way, healthy as a horse. I don't have a cold. I don't have gout. I am plantar fasciitis gone. I feel amazing.
Hysterical pregnancy?
Oh, some things you never get rid of. It is so big to me. And black pepper's interesting because that's different than saying spice. You're actually you're quantifying it. And I get none of that whatsoever. There's an oak, and I think the oak is playing in 2 ways. A richness of the wood that I like, but then a spice of the wood which is throwing me off completely. It's a kind of back and forth kind of flavor, and it hits me as also a tinge bitter.
Really?
I know.
On the finish?
The finish has actually worked its way out to be very nice. The finish is easy. The finish is a little creamy. But that first hit, that going down, that finding its place for it. By the way, no heat in the chest. It's all in the tum-tum.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie. So I might need a burping and a swaddling.
That would make a great t-shirt. It's all in the tum-tum.
Oh. Somebody get me to my printer. This is the Old Forester 1897 bottled in bond, coming in at 100 proof. And this has been around for a while. This is part of this series that they've got, the Old Forester Whiskey Row series, ROW Whiskey Row series. Fingers, this bottle is somewhere between $40 and $50. Now, I would assume that if we were to really take a look because of everything going up, maybe we'd find it a little bit more, but let's call it the $50 just for the argument's sake. Are you in for $50?
In this economy, when we've talked about how inflation has had an impact on everything, yeah, I could see paying $50 a bottle for this.
So I like Old Forester quite a bit. I think that it has presented itself, right, Old Forester, part of Brown-Forman, as this very consistent, strong, kind of proper brand. And there are so many options, because I think there are 5 in this series alone. Mm-hmm. This is not my pick. But if you like, and it's weird that we're getting this very different profile, because I'm getting a punch, and I'm still feeling it where? In the tum-tum. That's right. Maybe you won't. I don't know. The Old Forester 1897 at $50, not in my liquor cabinet. But I cannot wait to try this on a cube. Keep it here, guys. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. We are just moments away from eating ribs, barbecue, brisket. Do you call it barbecue brisket? In my life, I never called it barbecue brisket. I was just going to say barbecue, and then I said barbecue brisket, and now I feel terrible about myself.
Well, I often boil my brisket.
It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that terrible human being is Fingers Malloy. Live. Well, I should say live, depending on when you're listening to this. We're at Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana, where they're having a big Old Forester event and a barbecue buffet. And we're like, yes, we're coming out for that. Big Hoffa's was huge and instrumental in helping us write the book, Let's Go Barbecue, Let's Go BBQ, available at Amazon.com. And we're going to get into brisket and ribs and a whole bunch of things. We're going to talk to Adam Hoffman, the owner of Big Hoffa's Barbecue. But Fingers Malloy found a story that has him very excited about Heinz, because nothing says I love ketchup on a hot dog like Fingers Malloy and Heinz.
Well, first of all, this story has nothing to do with hot dogs with ketchup, which is, of course, great when you're 8 years old.
It's fine anytime. Here I am. I'm about to dig in on ribs and brisket and chicken, and I'm telling you right now, if you gave me a hot dog with some ketchup on it, I'd say thank you, and I'd eat the thing.
By the way, I got a text from my brother-in-law a few days ago, had his first Costco food court hot dog, called it life-changing.
What do you mean he had his first? How old is this man?
Well, they haven't had a Costco anywhere near his house. So they finally got a Costco like 4 miles from his house. He got to waltz right in, said, "Shopkeep, give me your best Costco hot dog." And I feel bad for him because he didn't experience it with the onion gun.
No one has.
No, but he said it was life-changing. And really, who could argue with that?
No, you can't. It's science. It seems that every week we have a Costco reference. They should really start sponsoring the show. This is dumb already. But what has Heinz done that has you excited?
Well, Heinz has launched a new Heinz Dipper French fry box. So when you're, like me, Tony, driving down the road, enjoying your fast food, and you think to yourself, man, I would sure love some ketchup with my French fries, but where am I going to put it? Heinz decided they're going to come up with a little caddy on the side of the French fry box where you can pour your Heinz ketchup right in there and you can do the dipping.
Being that I live in Indiana, I am hereby renouncing Heinz and everything they stand for, and I will be a red gold man from now until the end of time. I have spoken.
I don't know why you hate modern
conveniences.
conveniences.
This is not an innovation. This is dumb. There's nothing interesting here, and nobody needs to know about this.
What are you talking about?
Let me explain
This
to
will
you.
revolutionize the French fry eating business.
Let me explain to you how French fries work.
Oh, please do.
Okay. First, if you're traveling, if you're in your traveling vehicle, your traveling buggy, as the people call it, all right, you don't have time to have the little thing on the side of the fry thing. The fry thing is staying in the bag. The burger has come out. You're eating that with your left hand. You're driving a little bit with your right hand, and then you're going to hold the burger and the wheel while you're grabbing in for a fry. It's staying right where it is. You got no time for ketchup when you're driving. That's not the way it works. That's not even science.
That's because you've never tried the Heinz 57
No one is
Dipper
going
French
to use
fry
this.
box.
And if you are at home, you're gonna open up the burger. You're gonna lay out that beautiful paper that says freshness, and then you're gonna take the fries. You're gonna dump it onto the paper, or maybe just a little scoot it out a little bit from the container, a little scoot out, and then you're gonna take the ketchup. Create a pile of it, just like a big load of ketchup, and then you're just gonna dip and eat.
Big load of ketchup, he says.
That's what I said.
So-
Somebody turn that into a ringtone.
No, but of course, everyone knows that you put the order of fries in the door handle and use that as a French fry caddy. So you have the sandwich in your hand, and then you can do the left hand.
That is not even sent. No one does that.
And you drive with your knee.
No, certainly not. Don't do that. Do not drive with your knee.
You drive with your knee.
Why would you even think of doing something like that?
Well, you drive with your hand until you grab a French fry out of the French fry caddy, and then that's when the knee takes over for 3 seconds as you stuff the French fries in your face. But I do have a question outside of driving tips with Fingers Malloy.
Right.
And it's this.
Yes.
When you order a burger and fries and you are committed to travel with the burger and fries in your car, you're eating on the go.
Right.
I can't think of too many French fry orders from a fast food restaurant where I would use ketchup. McDonald's, I feel like it's almost a sin if you use ketchup on those fries.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Of course.
You use ketchup on your
it's 100% fine. It's not even a question. You do anything you want with your fries. This whole vaunted, the McDonald's fry is the greatest fry ever. Salt is salt, ladies and gentlemen. And you can put ketchup on it if you want. I don't care if you use relish. If you want to pour some mayo on that thing, hey, it's your heart attack, and I think you should have it the way you want it.
Well,
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I think if we did a blind taste test right now between McDonald's fries and Burger King fries, you would know right away. You'd know right away.
Oh, sure.
To me, ketchup on fast food fries is a lot like when someone puts steak sauce with a steak. It masks the awfulness of the fry.
If that is correct, why did Heinz do this?
Because Heinz wants to sell ketchup.
That's dumb. It's a ridiculous idea. Hold on. I'm having a stroke. I'm clearly upset, and I need to relax. I'm getting worked up about this carry, and I shouldn't. You know what, Heinz? You do whatever you want. I'm a roll gold man now.
I don't understand why you're so passionate and so against the
Because
new
if we're going to
Heinz Dipper
spend
French
time,
fry.
I'm going to explain this to you. Let me try and educate you.
Oh,
son.
yeah, please make the complex simple when it comes to the Heinz 57 Dipper French fry box.
If I am going to spend time inventing something, shouldn't it be something worth inventing?
Okay. I will say this, and this is not a slam at Heinz 57
Yes.
or at any other ketchup manufacturer. When you produce a product like ketchup, the recipe hasn't changed all that much. So you can either tinker with the bottle, or you can get the folks in the lab to do something else, like create the Heinz Dipper French fry box. They have nothing else going on.
They've mixed it with mayo. Acceptable. You can add some maybe sriracha or other spicy thing to it. Acceptable.
And that took them years.
And hear me out here. Don't do anything. Shut up and sell ketchup. Don't make it difficult. Don't make me think. Just make me think ketchup Heinz, Heinz ketchup, ketchup Heinz, Heinz ketchup. Now you got me think about ridiculous innovation. And you know what I thought about? Red Gold. That's what Heinz did. Don't mess with the thing that works.
And here's what you do too. If you take a page out of auto manufacturers, it leaks just a little bit to make people go through a little bit more ketchup than they normally would. That's my guess. That's what you do there. That's where you maybe sell yourself 3% more ketchup a year based on your leaky French fry box.
You are an incredibly jaded man. Can we talk about this for a second?
You have
The
20.
Machiavellian
What?
leaky ketchup.
I'm trying to, by the way, great name for a band. I'm trying to sell ketchup here, Tony. And once again, you're throwing the roadblock out there saying, Fingers, you sold enough ketchup for one day.
Red Gold, people. Red Gold. Tea, drink, smoke. Bring on the brisket. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. So we're live at Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana. They're doing a big Old Forester night. They've got 5 different, the whole whiskey row, and 5 different bourbons. And then they've got a whole barbecue, a buffet. And Adam Hoffman, who owns Big Hoffa's, just brought us starting with a tray of brisket right here.
Where's yours?
What? How dare you? This brisket, remember when you're doing it for a restaurant, everything's got to be the same. It's always got to look the same. You don't get to engage in variations. But looking at this, smoke ring, check. Pull apart, check. I will admit, mine does not pull apart like that.
Oh,
I don't know about,
well, you're doing it wrong.
well, maybe I am. It's still delicious, but it's never pulled apart like that. Excuse me, let me try this.
Oh, look at you going in. Now, we've talked about this a lot on the show about, traditionally, most people like to do salt, pepper, garlic rub. There's always a conversation about whether you should use a binder or not. One thing that I like to do is I like to do the old SPG.
Right?
Salt, pepper, garlic. But then I also like to incorporate some brown sugar in my rub as well. Give it a little bit of sweetness to go along with the salt, pepper, garlic. And I just love that as an accent. And I think you have said in the past you do that as well.
I do. I didn't start that way. I started absolutely salt and pepper purist, done, complete, which I still love. Maybe it's because I do it on the Traeger. And therefore, some of that wood experience doesn't make it through to the meat. So some of that flavor isn't pushing forth, right? So therefore, I need to cheat it. So I happen to love garlic. I think you're right. I think that is a great way to do it. The brown sugar is something, when I first did it, my family said, what is happening here? They immediately were like, that's awesome. They wanted it a little sweeter. A little less meater, a little more sweeter.
Yeah.
Is where they were. And don't get me wrong, when I make it the other way, they still eat it, and they really like it. But the brown sugar just gave it a little bit of a more friendly zhuzh. I don't think that's a manly way to say anything. But I think that's it. So I'm with you. But you do just salt, pepper, garlic. You don't do brown sugar in the main.
No, I just said I do brown sugar.
You do.
I hate it when we have these fights like this.
Yeah, it's not a fight.
But I also feel like at this point you are sampling the flat and not the point. And I mean that. Oh no! Now, well, see that first piece that you grabbed was.
You want this?
Sure. Was narrower and it didn't look like it has much fat on it. I mean,
so when we're talking about the flat, when we're talking about the point, first you're talking about a whole packer brisket. The flat is where you have less fat. That's the end that you're gonna get those more standardized slices from that everybody is used to. The point is where you've got more of the fat. That's where you've got something called the decal, that fat that kind of runs through, and everything else. When you're slicing your brisket, remember, you're always slicing against the grain, otherwise it's gonna be very hard to chew. You wanna further break up those fibers. So you're cutting the flat, and you're cutting, and you're cutting, and you're cutting. When you get to the point, you turn it 90 degrees, and you keep cutting. And therefore, you'll be cutting properly, you'll be cutting against the grain. Some people slice horizontally, and they take where that decal is and it's going through, they kind of cut in that spot, and then they slice both separately. Are you one of those people?
No, I just go ahead and do it exactly how you explain it. But what's interesting is, depending on what you prefer when it comes to meat, if you like more of a leaner cut of meat, you're going to want the flat, where the point has a little bit more, fat. A lot more fat.
A lot more.
And I've had this discussion with family because, my father absolutely can't stand fat. So I brought home some sample of some brisket. Absolutely loved the flat. Did not like the point because of the fat content. So don't think just because you don't like fat, you can't enjoy brisket, because you absolutely can.
Oh, absolutely. Just eat around it.
Well,
and someone else at the table will eat it.
Right.
But you've been writing about some things over at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. The new website's up over there. It's part of now a Substack. So eatdrinksmokeshow.com, you go to the same site. It's just, we're loading it up. Fingers has been working hard. It's really looking beautiful. That you went out with Fingers Malloy Sr. and you were having, it's really like a two-part conversation. First, there was an event you had, an experience you had I think it was at a restaurant, and then it was the experience of being out with an 87-year-old and how society, like you had these multiple occasions where people were talking right past your father. So start because we're talking about plates, and it lets me eat more brisket. Start with the plating.
So when you're talking about, I took my father to a cigar bar, and it was very nice because when you're with an 87-year-old man, a lot of times what happens is people, they're always trying to be kind. They're always trying to be nice, accommodating, but they talk to the elderly differently than they would a younger person. There's a lot of slowing down the pace of what they're saying and enunciating. How are you today, sir?
Really?
And it's very noticeable. What was nice about the cigar bar, we went in, and this is not familiar territory for him. He's only had maybe 2 cigars in his life, only been to 1 cigar lounge. They treated him like just a normal guy walking in. Nobody stared. Everybody treated him normally and didn't look at me and kind of talk around my father. Like, what would he like? I asked him what he wanted. Versus when I'd take him to the grocery store, it's a whole different treatment. People are very kind, very nice. I take them grocery shopping. People, a lot of times, will be walking down the aisle. They'll see us coming. They'll get out of the way. Like, okay, he likes to push the cart because it helps with his balance and because he can. Right. And that's important to him. But people smile, like, oh, this is nice, this is happening. But the way they talk to him, he's very sharp. He's with it mentally. He's 87 years old, but his eyesight's failing him. That's why we're in this situation.
Right.
Just to, people, we were at a grocery store where someone was trying to give, sell us cell phone service.
Is that still happening?
Yes, it's still happening, and it's annoying me to no end.
Good Lord.
And, I'm hearing this go on throughout our shopping experience, where someone will walk by and they'll say, "Hey, sir, how you doing? How's it going? Hey, I'm trying to sell you something." My dad is walking by. "Hello, sir. How are you doing today?" And it's just...
Who does it bother more, you or him?
I think it bothers me more because I think he's used to it by now. You get adjusted to it. I've heard other people, in my family that are older have complained about, have had similar complaints about you reach an age where people just talk to you differently, and it is annoying, and it makes you feel like a little bit less of a person because of it.
Have you ever questioned whether or not you do it? Because I don't know. Now I'm going to have to look at myself and see if I do somehow unconsciously, subconsciously, etc.
I don't think that I ever have been that type of person, but now I'm really, really cognizant of the fact that people treat older people that way, and so I don't do it at all. I treat everyone poorly.
Oh. Tell me I know it. It's been a lot of years of this.
Yeah.
I do want to get into some of the restaurant experience stuff that you got into. We will get into that. We have more bourbon to try. We're here, big Old Forester event. We got like 100 people in this room at Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana, bighoffas.com. So we're going to drink some more Old Forester. We're going to try some more of that 1897, the bottled and bond. I'm going to put it on a cube, see if it works for me.
You should do that. I'll have a little bit of cool water.
Look at you.
Wow. It's like we've done this before.
Unbelievable. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. Old Forester. It's part of your liquor cabinet. It's part of your life. If not, you've seen it and you're like, oh, it's old, and you haven't had it. It's one of those things you either know or somehow you've avoided it. Now, I admit, and Fingers knows this is true of me, I skip over brands. Something in my head's like, nah, I don't do that. Old Forester is not something you skip over. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That's America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. That is Madison Tragesser from the good people at Old Forester. Are you with Old Forester or are you with Brown-Forman?
So I work with the distributor here in Indiana, but I am kind of a spokesperson for the entirety of Brown-Forman. So Jack Daniels, Woodford Reserve, Old Forester, plenty more.
Panoply, but we're talking
Absolutely.
Old Forester because we're here at Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana. They're doing a big Old Forester event. We got 100 plus people here. Fingers Malloy is here. Let's start with the basics. I don't even know where my drink is. Is it behind me?
Yeah, you should have one. Absolutely.
Let's start with the basic. The story of Old Forester.
Absolutely. It is a fantastic story. So Old Forester started with a man named George Garvin Brown, and he started in the 1800s. He was actually a pharmaceutical sales rep. So he was out selling whiskey, but at the time it was medicine. So still is medicine, yeah. So back in the 1800s, he's selling medicine whiskey, and is finding that a lot of the barrels that he's purchasing to sell to people who are ill are cut with things. So turpentine, they're adding tobacco spit, they're adding all different kinds of flavors, colors, things like that to kind of to be able to cut the whiskey and give it more of a flavor profile that they maybe think is more desirable, but is not necessarily good for people. So with this experience, George Garvin Brown decides that he is going to make his own whiskey, and he is going to actually innovate the industry, and he's the first person that created whiskey that was bottled and sold in a bottle instead of a full barrel, a full bourbon barrel. So there's a lot of consistency behind what George Garvin Brown wanted to do. He wanted a consistent product. He wanted a consistent flavor profile. He wanted consistency across the board, so you knew you could rely on what he was signing his name on. And on a bottle, I have one here.
Oh, you.
Yeah, so usually, yes, on the label here is signed by George Garvin Brown here. So that was his signature.
Oh,
right at the top, yeah. So he used to sign every single bottle after it was fully bottled in a glass. And that you knew that was the best quality. So that's how Old Forester started. it's the 1800s. It's a different time frame for whiskey, for drinking in general. They didn't have what we have today, but we can kind of emulate what they did back in the 1800s. So today we're actually focusing specifically on the Whiskey Row series, in Big Hoffa's at this dinner tonight. And it is 4 different whiskeys. So there's 1870.
Hold on, wait.
Oh.
Don't let's not rush it. Let me let Fingers
Okay, yeah,
jump
please.
in and we'll get to it.
Yeah,
We got
please.
time.
Sorry, I've got a lot to talk about.
No, very exciting.
But we're enjoying the 1897 right
Yes.
now, bottle and bond, and between $40 and $50 a bottle, depending
Yep.
on where you find it. I'm just curious, in your opinion, what is a bottle of Old Forester that doesn't get enough love?
Man, I think that the rye, honestly, truly. So Old Forester, yeah.
Just me? Just me.
Oh, I love a rye. I specifically with Old Forester, their mash bill is 72, 1810. It's consistent across the board with Brown-Forman, and then 18 is that rye content. And in my opinion, aren't enough bourbons that have more of a rye content that really give it that spice, that give you that punchiness that Old Forester gives you. So to up it even more in their rye whiskey, I think it comes out beautifully. It's not in your face. It's not 100% rye, so it's not going to kick you in the teeth. But it's a great product. Yeah.
I've not had it.
It's 100 proof, I believe.
I've had the Old Forester rye, and off the head, I can't think of it.
I can't remember if we've ever reviewed that, but he's the rye guy
Sure.
on the show, so
Yeah.
it's actually surprising to me that you've never had it before. But what are ways that bourbon drinkers maybe enjoy Old Forester in ways that they don't do enough? Like, is it maybe a cocktail that they don't use Old Forester in a way that
Yeah.
you think that they should?
Yeah, I think specifically with the Whiskey Row series that we're kind of talking about today, I think the best way it's served is neat or on the rocks. It's a taste through history, we call it, to kind of highlight different things happening within Old Forester's history. So I prefer it to be neat or on the rocks, but I think cocktail-wise, right now my favorite bourbon cocktail is a paper plane. I love an Amaro.
What?
A paper plane. You've never heard
Explain.
of it? Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's got, so it has a digestif and an aperitif. If you're really nerdy into alcohol, I have all the useless
Say that
knowledge.
again, and make it in English.
Yes. So there's a liqueur. There are multiple liqueurs. One of the liqueurs used in this cocktail is Aperol, which is an aperitif.
Right.
That's before dinner. So you're kind of getting your appetite going. You're starting your day or your
Really,
dinner.
it's about getting the juices going,
Yes.
getting your stomach ready for digestion.
Definitely.
That, an aperitif, that's what that does.
Absolutely.
Fancy.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Fancy. And then it also has an Amaro, which is kind of like a bittersweet liqueur. A lot of the times there's a lot of herbal, different botanicals in the
Barrel
recipe.
Spirits do a bourbon in an Amaro cask? I've seen a couple.
I could see
think
that.
that's it.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a very natural way to do that, to finish a bourbon. I think it'd be a really interesting way. I think I'm very tuned into the craft cocktail scene, and a lot of Amaro is really, really big right now. And that's a digestif. So that's what you kind of drink at the end of your meal to digest a little bit. So this cocktail actually has all of that. It's got bourbon, it's got Aperol, it's got Amaro, and it has some lemon juice in it. And it's complex, it's delicious, and it's equal parts of everything. So 1 ounce Aperol, 1 ounce Old Forester, rye if you're feeling squirrely, 1 ounce lemon, 1 ounce Amaro.
Talking to Madison, your last name is killing me.
That's okay, Tragesser.
Tragesser.
Yes.
Why can't I remember that?
I don't know. Maybe you need some rye.
Oh, maybe.
Yes, I do. From Old Forester there, let's dig into this Whiskey Row series that we're talking about here, that we're drinking part of. There are 5 in this series that I know of.
There are 4. So
There are 4.
we added one here.
Okay.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
brought an extra one for this event, but there are 4 in the series.
Yes.
Walk us through the 4.
Absolutely. So first you have 1870. 1870 is when George Garvin Brown started bottling his own whiskey. So this is an homage to when George Garvin Brown started. And the way that they kind of pay homage to him is that they minimally chill filter everything, all of these brands. So you throw it in the freezer, it gets a little cloudy. That's natural because they don't really chill filter a whole lot with these brands. They want it to be very give the essence of it was being made in the 1800s, right? So they also kind of source different barrels from different spaces in their warehouses. So it kind of has the illusion that you're doing the same thing back in the 1800s. You're sourcing barrels from different distilleries that you can find to kind of blend your own and make your own flavor profile. So that's 1870. We are, I can't remember what the proof is. I want to say it's 80, 85, 90, something like that.
Walk us through the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next one is 1897, which is one of my personal favorites. I know that you guys tried it a little bit earlier today. And that is the Bottled and Bond. So that one is paying homage to the Bottled and Bond Act, obviously with George Garvin Brown being so gung-ho about quality and consistency. The Bottled and Bond Act was very important to George. And so he wanted to pay homage to that and create a Bottled and Bond, which is just, you know, the highest quality of bourbon that you possibly could drink because it goes through all of these different qualifications. So next is the 1910, which is also, I think 1897 and 1910 are kind of neck and neck for me. 1910 is in 1910 on...
Hold on, we're not going to let you get to the full explanation.
Okay.
1910, and what's the other one?
1920.
1920.
Yes.
So you've got the 1870,
yes.
the 1897, the 1910,
and 1920.
And the 1920.
Yes.
That is the Whiskey Row series. So I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, Fingers.
Sure.
But our plan is to get to as many as humanly possible and then maybe sleep here tonight. Yes.
We'll get a cot. We'll wheel you out.
You need a cot. That's precious. Madison Tragesser
yes.
From Old Forester. Appreciate you being with us. We'll get into more conversations.
Absolutely.
Keep it here, guys. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Old Forester bourbon and barbecue. Well, of course we left the studio for that. We're not crazy people. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. We're sipping on the 1870 what?
1897.
We're sipping on the 1897. That is not a new member of Eat, Drink, Smoke. That's Madison Tragesser from Old Forester, who met us out here at Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana. We're having this big event. We got over 100 people in here making a lot of noise, and we wanted to come out and try some brisket, and we're halfway through this pan, and then we're gonna get another pan, and then after that we're gonna have some more. That's right, we eat our brisket by the pan. And Fingers Malloy and Madison were talking Old Forester as we're having the 1898, the
1897.
Why can't I get it right? I got the last name right now. Yes, but not this. So we were talking about this Whiskey Row series, but you know, I brought up earlier that Old Forester seems to be a name that everybody should know, and because it's a name that everybody should know, I think it's a name that some people push away from. No, that's not cool. No, that's not hip. No, that's old school. We often talk about how certain things need to be in the liquor cabinet, like Old Granddad 114. It's a must in your liquor cabinet for price, for the hit, for everything else that's in there. How do you describe Old Forester bourbons versus what's out on the scene now?
Absolutely. I think that this brand is just dipped in history. I mean, we have a whole Whiskey Row series just talking about the years in the history of Old Forester, and it comes with a story itself. So people love to hear it. They love to sip on something that they know has integrity and value and quality. And so I think that's what separates at least the Whiskey Row series apart from everything else. And then we have our core products as well. Our 86 proof, our 100 proof, our rye is a new addition to the core. And they're more so for, you know, your everyday cocktails, your old fashions if you're making one at home. You need 86 proof if you're not really feeling too like you didn't really have that bad of a day. That's what you go for. But I think that the Whiskey Row series specifically is what gives Old Forester such a push in the industry.
Well, let me ask you something about customers. You know, bourbon drinkers are very passionate. What is something that bourbon drinkers obsess about that you think maybe is something that isn't really all that important?
Oh man, you're gonna hate me for this. I think it's high proof.
As if she knew who she was talking to.
I understand the high proof
You
thing,
think
but
people into high proof are
man,
beta males?
yes,
Say it. You think they're beta males? Just putting it out there. You know what? I'll just scoot back and let you go ahead right here. I'll just eat some brisket.
I don't think that it's a. I don't know. Personally, I'm getting heartburn if I'm drinking something too high proof. And Old Forester gets up there. You know, they have a barrel proof selection, a personal selection within their barrel program. And I've seen barrels that are up to 140 proof. It's crazy. And that's just not 100% my jam. But I know that that's a huge push in the bourbon industry. But it's also, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you, the person who's drinking the alcohol, thinks.
Well, speaking as a guy that's 6'3", 220 pounds.
You look great.
Sometimes the
Is
lower
that a new hoodie?
yeah, the lower proof bourbon can hit me like bourbon flavored schnapps.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
why I like to sometimes delve into the higher proof bourbon.
Absolutely. I don't think I do agree that I think that some maybe 80 proof bourbon can come off a little flabby sometimes, and I want it to shine through in my cocktail for sure. I don't want it to be covered up by juice and sugar and everything else. But I think like when you get up to like over 100, 120 is kind of where my line is drawn.
What's the most surprising place you've seen Old Forester?
I would be surprised if I didn't see Old Forester anywhere.
Good. Oh, wow. Wow. What can I do to put you in this Ford today?
Hey, Madison, how'd you get the job? Talking to Madison Tragesser of Old Forester. I'm saying you're from Old Forester.
Sure,
I don't even
that's
know
fine.
rules are anymore.
Yeah. It's a great line.
You know, I think it was interesting that my question didn't get answered, but rather got dismissed. You think I'm wrong in the approach? When I think that people view the brand, I think this is true of
sure.
a host of things.
Yeah.
And they view the brand and they say, that was then. Or it's something that isn't marketed slick.
Yeah.
Or it isn't talked about by name the site or name the whatever. And so therefore it kind of gets moved out.
Yeah.
So how do you, with a brand that has a history and heritage,
Yeah.
how do you compete against a world of Instagram marketing?
Yeah, I think it's all about the quality, honestly. I mean, you taste the juice, and it's quality juice, and I'm not going to ask you to rank your favorite bourbons here in front of me, but...
We just did that.
Oh, okay.
We just did that. Our top 3 bourbons, our top 3 cigars. You can find those at eatdrinksmokeshow.com, wherever it is you get the podcast.
Yeah.
You should. And my top bourbon was a rum, and his top bourbon was a rye.
Perfect.
So that's
all right. I think, but going back to your question, I do think it is about a lot of quality, and like that's ultimately what I see in the market when I'm out. People want the story, they want the high quality, what they can count on. They don't want to taste something and be like, oh God, I'm so glad that I never have to try that again. I don't have to buy this bottle. I think Old Forester really corners the market in the sense of having that higher rye. It's not a high rye, but having that higher rye in the mash bill, giving it that spice, that signature spice that it's got. I don't get a ton of banana, but I know some people can kind of pick up on the banana from the yeast that Brown-Forman uses a little bit with Jack Daniels, with Woodford Reserve. Some people can pick up on that, but I'm not one of those. But there's just so many history and story things that I think really pushes the forward. And it is, your granddad's whiskey at some point. Like, this brand has been around for a long time, so like pushing it into the market in front of new consumers is always going to be a challenge. But I think if we can show that we have like a track record of being a great product, then ultimately we'll get there.
What's the difference in how bourbon drinkers talk online versus how they talk about bourbon in person?
That's I don't really know. I don't listen to a whole lot of...
Wait, you don't talk to many people online, or you don't have many friends? Or
no, I'm more in person. I have to, as a true Gen Z, I block myself out of my social media apps pretty regularly so I don't get sucked into it because I've got work to do. So I don't really see a whole lot of bourbon content online, so I don't know that I can speak to it truly in the way that you would like me to. But I do see a lot of, like, in person, people are trying stuff. People are picking out notes that maybe somebody else suggested. The power of suggestion is huge with the product, with tasting.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
As far as, and we respect everybody out there doing bourbon reviews, but sometimes we'll see reviews and we'll be like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
You really pick that out of this bourbon.
Yeah.
Do you notice that as well?
Yeah, a little bit. You put one word out there and then it's just riffs off of that one flavor profile sometimes. So I could see that, yeah.
So you agree that most people are full of crap when they're talking
Totally,
about bourbon?
absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we supposed to keep beating around the bush? Madison Tragesser, Old Forester. You can find it at your favorite liquor store. We're doing the 1897 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good stuff.
Only took
you
me
got it.
5 tries. Right there. We're going to keep drinking. We're going to keep eating brisket here at Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana. Don't forget to find everything we do at eatdrinksmokeshow.com and the podcast. Make sure you share this podcast with all of your friends. Get it out there to the people. And check out the new site, eatdrinksmokeshow.com. It is fantastic. Keep it here. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. There are things that I don't understand in this world, and sometimes I need the help from Fingers Malloy. You can imagine how weird the thing will be if I need the help from Fingers Malloy.
That's hurtful.
It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. We are live on the scene, actually coming to you from Big Hoffa's Barbecue in Westfield, Indiana. Big Old Forester night, and they put it together with a big barbecue buffet. And we said, brisket, bourbon, yeah, we can show up for that. And that's where we are. So thanks to Big Hoffa's, bighoffas.com. So the NFL season ended, the playoffs began, and the Baltimore Ravens fired John Harbaugh. They fired John Harbaugh because a field goal went wide right. Laces out, Ray Finkel. And they said, okay, your time here, is it 18 years?
Yeah, something like that.
At the Ravens is done. And I said, that's a weird firing. That's an odd move. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the Houston Texans. The Texans have been a juggernaut. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is anything what he was. And they only scored 6 points. It was 30 for the Texans, 6 for the Steelers. And the next thing I hear from you is that Mike Tomlin has left. He's done. So I have to stop. What the hell? These two decisions. What in the world is going on in the NFL that you're willing to walk from a guy like Harbaugh who has proven success, and clearly there's got to be an issue in Pittsburgh where the Steelers must have let Tomlin know that maybe we're done here.
Well, we can start with Pittsburgh because that's the freshest of the two stories right now. And from all reports, this was Tomlin's decision. The Rooney family, who owns the Steelers, asked him what he wanted to do. And at this point, he just felt like it was time to step away. Now, early reports are that he told the Rooney family that he wanted to step away from coaching. So this isn't a situation where he's stepping away and he's looking for another job, because there's a ridiculous amount of openings in the NFL right now for head coaches. I think it's something like 9. It's crazy.
I have 3 interviews next week.
It's about time. I know personally, if I were going to start an NFL franchise, you would be my first pick as head coach.
I should be the first pick as head coach. I can motivate a team of this, there's no doubt. So is Tomlin saying that he would do something else with the organization?
Still early on. No, it looks like he said he's stepping away from coaching. So now there's speculation. Is he going to pull a Bill Cowher where he's going to walk away from completely? I mean, 19 years is a long time to be a head coach.
Yes.
And the other thing, too, if he seeks another job, no job will ever be as good head coaching-wise as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The owners are very hands-offish. They have a lot of patience. They're going to let you do what you do. Right. And if there's a little bit of failure along the way, they let you try to work through it to see if things will work out. And they, go really deep into the interview process to make sure they find the right person, because they're not one of these franchises that will hire a guy and then fire him 1 year or 2 years later. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds, because many people have said, well, he's aiming for another gig. Well, he apparently told the Rooneys he's not interested in another gig. And even if he is, he's under contract with the Steelers. So the Steelers would most likely require some sort of compensation from another team if he were to go to another team, because they would work out some sort of draft capital or something like that in a trade. But listen, and this is a little bit with what Harbaugh too. it's a what have you done for me lately league, and it's not just the regular season is a success is great anymore. People want playoff wins. They want Super Bowl titles.
Yeah.
And it's been a while for both coaches. Mike Tomlin has had a ridiculously regular season successful season or successful
I think
career.
he has one season that was a losing record.
No. 0 seasons of a losing record.
Really?
Yeah, he rallied this year because it was kind of iffy at first, and he was, he had a winning season this year.
Right.
19 years, never having a losing record. I don't think you'll never see that again in the NFL. It'll be lucky if you ever see a coach stick around that long. So, it's going to be really tough, I think. And I can see where Tomlin wouldn't come back unless those competitive juices just overtake him. He's like, I got to come back because you're never going to find another franchise as patient as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So now we're here live at Big Hoffa's Barbecue, and they're about to start talking about more Old Forester. You can actually hear Madison talking about the Old Forester and letting the whole crowd know what's up. But this brings us to the Jim Harbaugh conversation. John Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh played for the Colts and now coaches the Chargers.
That's correct.
And they're already getting rid of people and shedding people because of that debacle in the end of the season and then playoffs. The Ravens say goodbye. You're right. There are a tremendous number of head coach openings this year. It's through the roof. But there isn't a tremendous number of head coaches. So you have to make the analysis that you're going to be able to create a better culture, a better world, a better future without a guy who is a proven winner. Walk me through it. You follow this league. You know these people.
It's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out because right now John Harbaugh is kind of sitting in the catbird seat. It feels like once that domino falls, then the other openings will start to be filled. And a lot of it will maybe retreads from other organizations, coaches that just got fired, like Stefanski out of Cleveland, McDaniel out of Miami, which I hope for my Detroit Lions isn't the case because they interviewed him recently to be the offensive coordinator in Detroit. But there's a ridiculous amount of openings. And, you're seeing even first-year coordinators getting interviews for head coaching jobs, which is something you never saw in the past, or if you did, it's really uncommon. But with all these openings, that's happening right now.
We often talk about the lack of quarterbacks and being in Indianapolis, we watched the Colts just simply fall apart. You had to go back to Phillip Rivers, a guy at 44 years old. Now, I don't think he did poorly, but he certainly didn't do great. And Riley Leonard in that last game did better than I think anybody expected. So you might have an interesting quarterback situation going forward in the next year with Daniel Jones and Riley Leonard. I think Anthony Richardson's going to get traded. I don't think he'll actually be here.
I don't know what you're going to get for him, but
I don't know, a sandwich. Yeah. And I'm not mad at the dude. It just didn't work. The quarterbacks are hard to find. The coaches are hard to find. Your argument about, or your point about the Steelers is really interesting, that you have to be willing to let the coach build and grow and let these things come together. Are you saying that nobody's willing to do that anymore?
Not anymore. There's too much pressure from the outside, whether it's social media pressure in general, or the fact that your season ticket holders are spending a ridiculous amount of money for season tickets, and they expect results quickly.
Results is one thing. Reality is another. Reality is it takes time. Put systems into place. Not everybody's Kurt Signetti, by the way. The IU Hoosiers, the Miami Hurricanes, national championship. We placing our bets right now?
I will say this. Kurt Signetti, Pittsburgh kid. Just throwing that out there. I think he's a little old.
You are going to give people a heart attack.
He's a little old. I think that the Steelers are going to hire someone to be able to hang on to for 20 years.
Yeah.
IU's going to win.
And I think IU is going to win as well. I certainly hope they do. But I don't think Sig's even interested in the pros. And IU is paying him a boatload of cash. The third highest paid coach in the college right now.
That's true, and I don't expect him to move. But if you're a Pittsburgh kid and you grew up a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, just Just saying.
That is some gross rumor mongering that Fingers Malloy is doing. That is some gross, mean, nasty stuff
Probably
that Fingers is putting out there.
Would never happen. Winky, winky.
When he says winky, winky, you know it might. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
Keep it here. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. Fingers Malloy hit it big.
Did I?
Well, the man went to a casino and it all came up aces.
With a kicker.
Is that what they say?
Yes.
Huh, now I know. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Alive here at Big Hoffa's Barbecue, Westfield, Indiana, where we've been enjoying the Old Forester bourbon and trying the barbecue and having all the talks. But you were recently, and you've got this up at your site, you recently hit the casino and won it big.
Yes.
But you were going to say there's a story, and I haven't heard it yet.
Do you want to hear the whole thing? Listen,
I only want to hear the whole thing.
It's quite a tale. So yeah, you said I have it on my site, and I don't know if we mentioned these things.
Yeah.
Fingersmalloy.com is where you can see everything that I write.
I've got TonyKatz.com.
Okay.
But the things we do here are non-political, and that's eatdrinksmokeshow.com.
Yeah, well, this is definitely not political. So I decided on a weekday, a random Wednesday, that I was going to not go to my day gig, but wake up.
I love it.
Like I was going to my day gig. And as you know, Tony, I get up at 2:30 in the morning.
God bless you.
Well, 4:30 in the morning. I said, okay, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the casino on a random Wednesday morning. So I decided to take the drive to the local casino here. And I'm fighting rush hour traffic to get there, Tony.
You don't go to work.
No.
You're like, I've seen enough of that place.
Exactly.
You go to a casino.
Yes, and I'm there. I'm getting ready to walk in before sunrise, and this isn't one of those cool. I was up all night in Vegas and the sun's about to rise, and I'm at the casino stories. This is I fought rush hour traffic to drive to my local casino. It's at 7 a.m. stories.
Keep going.
And so I walk in, and there are 5 people in the joint. 5.
I'm surprised there were 5.
I'd never seen this before, and I'm not sure if you can actually do this because I know so little about craps. There was one guy playing craps at a craps table all by himself, and I'd never said it before. Because if you go to a casino, as you know, Tony, craps is like the most social of all the table games. I mean, there's 30 people, huddled around the table, and people are yelling and screaming and cheering, and
people are buying precious metals.
Yes. And there was just one guy at this craps table, and there's actually some tumbleweed going across the table as he was playing.
But you're not playing craps.
No.
You're not playing blackjack. You're not playing baccarat.
I'm headed straight for video poker.
Right to it.
Along with 4 other people. Before I go to the self-serve beverage place looking for some of Columbia's finest. But then
You make coffee.
Yes, but then I hit
You make coffee.
Yes, but then I hit the creamer button and powder came shooting out, white powder, which...
Oh, so it was Columbia.
It looked like something from Columbia. It wasn't its finest. So I take my coffee cup, have my coffee over to the video poker machine.
Right.
With a cigar. It's so wonderful when the casino's empty because I try to be courteous when it comes to cigar smoking at a casino.
Really?
I try to find a machine not anywhere near someone. You, on the other hand, you blow smoke right in people's faces.
I smoke in a nursery. I don't do what I want. You're not the boss of me.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm enjoying my cup of joe that tastes like wax, powder, and shame.
Right.
And I have my cigar, and I start gambling, and I didn't realize just how much of an angry loner you could feel like at a casino when you're losing money and the place is empty.
You didn't realize this.
No, it was shocking to me.
I'm going to say it again with a point. You didn't realize this.
Because I've never been in a local casino at 7 a.m. But so I start gambling.
No. You've been at a local casino at 7 a.m. You just never drove there at 7 a.m. There's the difference.
Fair enough. But what was amazing was the vibe. Even though I started losing, it was wonderful. It was cleaner. The music was better. There were no people. There was no one behind me saying, "Oh, that's a shot of Fireball." You know,
Did it have that new casino smell?
it absolutely did. Were you there? Were you playing craps?
I wasn't invited.
No, well, you were responsible, and you're doing your day gig while I was, and Tony, I was listening the whole time.
Were you?
Yeah, I had my transistor radio right to my ear as I was gambling away, and so I'm gambling in this casino, and I'm like 7 people, and I actually start to win a little bit, and pretty excited about that. So I cash out, and
So when you cash out the first time, how much money do you have?
money shmoney, Tony.
Or are you up 10%, 40%,
Okay.
100%?
You really want to know dollar amount?
You don't have to tell us.
Okay, listen, I am not a high stakes gambler. I play
Right.
quarter video poker.
Yeah, that's what you play.
So I won $1,000 on a video poker machine.
You know what you can get with that $1,000? Get yourself some Defiance Beef. DefianceBeef.com. That's exactly what you should do with all of your gambling winnings. Get a cow for your family. Don't bet the mortgage. Buy yourself a cow so your family eats well. DefianceBeef.com. Indiana farm to your table, 21 day aged. Incredible beef cut to your specifications. They are fantastic over at DefianceBeef.com. And you use promo code EatDrinkSmoke and you're going to get $150 off your order. It is just an incredible place. You gotta get it for yourself. Quarter cow, half cow, full cow, whatever it may be. DefianceBeef.com. Promo code EatDrinkSmoke. And get your steaks, your ribeyes, your strips, your ground beef, all 21 day aged and incredible. We did the cube steak the other day, made chicken fried steaks, first time ever.
Oh.
Ever. Amazing. DefianceBeef.com, promo code Eat, Drink, Smoke. So you're gambling and you move on to another table.
So I'm winning, and I'm feeling good. The vibe is great. And there's still only like 7 people in the casino. So I leave the machine. I start to walk across the other side of the casino, and there are 2 young ladies there, employees at the casino. And I overhear this conversation. And I have to share it with my friends, and now with Eat, Drink, Smoke Nation, because misery loves company. So,
Okay.
one lady says to the other, you know what I heard? Older men give you worms. Yeah, and then the other woman replied, they do. They give you pinworms. And I kept walking.
Right,
and,
which is the right thing to do in that situation.
Yes. And at that point, I thought to myself, you know what? Vibe ruined, day ruined. I should have stayed in bed. I left, but before I did, I went to the little food court there, and I got 2 free hot dogs, which legend has it were worm-free, and I stepped over that entire joke.
Oh, so it was close.
Yeah.
So that's what you overheard.
Yeah.
Worms and pinworms.
Worms and pinworms. Who says you can't learn anything about science on a casino floor at 7 a.m.?
Did any part of you think to say, excuse me, ladies, I don't mean to interrupt, but what the hell did you just say?
No. To quote Don Henley, sometimes you don't look back. You can never look back. Just kept right on walking.
I thought he was going to go with an end of the innocence.
Oh, nice pull.
I'm here for you. By the way, I couldn't name another one if I wanted to.
Legend has it, those hot dogs were worm-free. Thank you.
You went back to the well.
Thank you.
You couldn't live with your failure. It was a full Thanos moment. So where does it bring you? Back to the joke. Oh, that's excellent work. Thanks to the people at Big Hoffa's. Unbelievably friendly and helpful in the food and everything else. Just fantastic. And Madison and the team that was here from Old Forester, spectacular. Enjoyed the lesson, enjoyed the learning. Don't forget to check out the new site, eatdrinksmokeshow.com. We've got that now on Substack, so you want to make sure you're subscribed over there. A lot of things getting posted, a whole new look, a whole new feel. So much better. And the YouTube videos, youtube.com/eatdrinksmoke. You want to get those as well. And yes, we will come to your local barbecue place and eat all your barbecue and drink all your bourbon.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Yes. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Follow Eat, Drink, Smoke on social media, on Twitter at Go Eat, Drink, Smoke, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eat, Drink, Smoke, and Instagram at Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast. Hey, you made it all the way through to the end of this video. We're proud of you.
You should watch more of our videos. Make sure you subscribe right there to Eat, Drink, Smoke, wherever it is you get your videos, on YouTube, on Rumble, and don't forget Instagram, Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast, where we've got the shorts and some very cool things going on.